Hey guys, today we're going to be continuing watching the Engineer 101 series by Uncle Dane. In the last video, we watched part 1 and 2. The first one was about where to place sentries. The second one was about metal, and they were both awesome, man. And of course, as some of you may know, Engineer is the only class I haven't played yet in TF2, and I'm going to be doing it here soon, so I'm really hoping this series is going to get me prepared for the first time I play it, because the first two were so informative. They were really good, man, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to learn today. So thank you so much to everybody that's been liking and commenting on these recent videos. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, if you're new, do not forget that sub button, please, and thank you. And if you want to, you're more than welcome. Come join me on Twitch. I'll be sure to put my link in the description down below. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, this one is called Cooperative Engineering. Hold on. Wait, is this how to build a snowman? is this for Frozen, just in a different tune? I mean, it still sounds good, but it just hit me. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh man. First of all, the music, awesome, but they come up with, like, he's just running around the map, running past everybody. He's like, yep, okay, I'm going to build it over here now. The song is fitting it perfect. I love this, man. Okay, this intro's taking it home. I'm loving this. I'm not gonna lie. This is awesome. Nothing has even been said yet, and this is all I need. This was great. Uh-oh. What? Yes, okay. So he is going to stick with this rest series. I love this. You know, the tune, the intro here. I love it, man.
Well, I guess that'll do.
Hey everyone, Uncle Dane back again with another episode of Engineering 101.
Nice.
Today we're going to be talking about working together with your fellow construction workers to benefit both your own game and the game your teammates are playing. TF2.
Okay.
In the last episode I left off with a quick tip about upgrading friendly teleporters during setup time if you're not planning on playing as engineer that round. This is
I love this. I don't know why. It's so funny.
fantastically helpful thing to do, but if you are going to play as engineer, you should first take a look at your team to see if playing engineer would even be the right choice, because sometimes the best way to help your fellow engineers and your
Wait,
team
is that how the... Because I know these videos are on the older side. I think this one's like 8 or 9 years old. Is that how the old loadout used to look, or is this some kind of different setting he's had? Because it's like edit loadout, and it was right there on like the left side of a screen at the very bottom. Is very different than what I've seen for loadout editing.
Is to not play engineer at all.
We don't need more engineers.
To explain, let's remind ourselves of the basic rules of team composition. In a 12 versus 12 server, you're always going to have multiples of certain classes. Valve's class selection screen splits the 9 mercenaries into 3 different categories: offense, defense, and support. Now, back when the game first came out in 2007, this might have been a more accurate description, but today, with the introduction of unlockable weapons, increasingly innovative game mechanics, and new game modes, these categories aren't as accurate anymore.
King of the Hill.
Today's hat-filled TF2, I personally would also categorize...
You know what? That is so true. If they all came out, you know, just with stocks, because I know you guys said that they didn't come out till a little bit later of like unlockables and different stuff. I guess, you know, if it was like a defense class, where the defense class could also like heal and you know, but also be really good with attack. Like it said Demo Man was a defense, I believe. But yet, you know, he can use the sword later on, the Demo Knight. So you could argue that that's attack. So I could see that.
The 9 classes into 3 different categories, but instead it should look like this. Now, power classes should be the bulk of a decent team, but when it comes to multiplying the number of certain classes, I'd say that generally, once the support or pick categories begin to exceed 2 or more of each, that's when the class composition starts to hurt the overall team's effectiveness. You've probably actually seen this before in a game where your team has 4 spies and 3 snipers, yet you...
Yeah, and this is another thing. Is like, what's going on with the menu here? Is this just like a server that he has joined? Like, it's just using this kind of the way it looks, or is it this is how it used to look back in the day and it's been updated since? Because this is like I have no idea what this little screen is right here.
Can't
This
seem to get out
menu.
of spawn. That's because there are not enough power classes to get past an even simple defensive setup. Engineer is actually included in this because at its core, he is considered a support class. In fact, I'd say that the engineer is the ultimate support class, even more of an overall supportive class than the medic. The engineer can support his team not only with heals, but with constant ammo supply, teleports to the front lines, reliable area denial, both offensively and defensively. That being said, too much support with hardly any teammates to actually do the supporting of just doesn't work. Even on a payload defense, 4 or more engineers can crumble in seconds beneath a single spy and a coordinated heavy uber assault. The only reason that an all-engineer defense works in pubs is usually because the opposing team is also running 5 engineers of their own. The engineer as a class naturally slows the game down on his own, so too many of them can completely bring the game to a screeching halt, ultimately causing...
You know, I didn't even really think about that engineer is more of a support class than medic. Like, when you think support, usually healing's like the very first thing that you think of. So the fact that, you know, engineer can also do healing, even though it's not like mobile, I guess, like medic, he'd still heal and give you ammo. I guess he is more of a support class, and like he said, probably the ultimate support class.
A stalemate, which is no fun for either side. The winning team is usually the one to collectively recognize the cause of the stalemate and actually switch off of a pick or support class and play a power class to finally get something done. I mean, I personally consider myself an engineer main, as it is my favorite class to play, but when I'm playing in pubs, if there are already 3 engineers on my team, I will just play something else, usually what the team needs. Just because it's your favorite class doesn't give you the automatic right to always play it no matter what.
And you know what? That's a good way to look at it. You know what I mean? Like, if there's too many on there, you probably don't need another one. Just, you know, you'll get it in the next match. That's a good way to look at things.
I suggest learning the basics of every class so that you can just help your team complete an objective in any team composition.
But Uncle Dane, I was engineer first. These other engineers should switch, not me.
Shh, get over yourself.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Just play soldier or medic for a little bit. It will help way more than being the 5th engineer, I guarantee it. Okay, so now that we've got team composition out of the way, let's get into the bulk of what to do when playing with other engineers, or actually, I should say, what not to do. So I'm going to call the rest of this video the don'ts of cooperative engineering.
The don'ts.
First off, don't take metal from other engineers' dispensers. Far too often, I'll have a dispenser built with the intention of letting it accumulate metal to use on my other buildings, but when I walk over to it, some other engineers already used it all to keep spamming his mini sentries over and over. In engineer culture, this is considered a dick move. If you want to have a constant supply of metal for your own nest, just build your own dispenser. And then after both engineers have fully built everything they need to, and there's an excess of metal floating around inside the dispensers, then it is totally cool to use some other dude's metal to repair or replace buildings. But if they're obviously in the middle of getting their stuff built to level 3, it's pretty rude to just walk over and take it. But
that's true. It does seem like it'd be a smidge rude to go over there and just take all their metal and run, you know?
Understandably, accidental metal stealing does happen, so when this does, as an act of good faith, you should just use the metal you took to upgrade their building, since that was how they were planning on using it in the first place.
Okay.
Secondly,
yeah, that's a good thing.
Ignore the well-being of friendly buildings. You can always see the health of friendly buildings by putting your crosshair on them, including buildings that aren't yours. You can use this to your advantage by helping the other engineer to keep it alive. If you notice that friendly building is taking damage, just heal it. The rescue ranger is great for this since you don't have to walk all the way over to their nest in order to do it. A good rule of thumb is to simply treat all of your team's buildings as your own. The only difference is you aren't alerted on your HUD when they get damaged, but if you pay close attention and are aware of where the damage is coming from, it's pretty easy to keep all of your team's buildings alive for a lot longer. Also worth noting, if another engineer is being harassed by a sapper happy spy, don't just run over and remove the sapper along with him. Identify the spy and kill him. Stop the source of the sapper while the other engineer stops the sapper itself. And the last, possibly the most important don't of cooperative engineering, and yet the most simple concept to understand, is don't group sentries together. Seriously, it's a problem. The
Okay.
biggest no-no you can do while playing with other engineers is putting your sentry gun, no matter what size it is, next to or even within close vicinity of another one. It's like the TF2 equivalent of standing right next to someone at a urinal when there are dozens of other ones available. It's just really rude and pretty annoying.
Okay, I see,
especially
I
if you
see.
understand why it simply doesn't do anything helpful. Multiple sentry guns next to each other are the definition of wasted potential for several reasons. One, it's much easier to destroy multiple sentries when they are in the same area. A spy can...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad he said this because this probably been one of the first things I would have done. I'd have been like, ooh, two sentries beside each other? Oh, they'll never stop this. So I'm kind of glad he said this. I'm really glad I'm watching this series before I play
just run in
the
and click on
class.
everything while a soldier or demo man spams in that general direction.
But I get what he's saying. You can cover more ground this way. And if they can blow up one, they can probably blow up the other one pretty easily since they're next to each other. It makes a lot of sense.
Before you know it, 2 or more sentries are now destroyed, and the defense is severely crippled. Spreading your team's guns out makes it much harder for one spy to just completely disable all of the sentries, and a demo man has to place twice as many stickies, a soldier has to fire twice as many rockets in order to take out everything in one push. Not to mention they'll probably have to attack from 2 different angles.
Pause
so
the Pokemon
it should be
text.
pretty obvious that this is much more effective than this. Secondly, a level 3 sentry gun does...
I love to use the Pokemon text. I'm not gonna lie. I've played a lot of Pokemon in my day. And let me know if you like Pokemon too. Which one was your favorite? Mine was always Ruby. I always grew up playing Ruby. It was so fun.
A lot of damage. The assumption that double damage from 2 sentries is often overkill, and it's simply not worth putting the entire defense in one basket. A basket that can get instantly destroyed by 1 sapper and 4 stickies. And lastly, covering only one area is never ideal if there are multiple sentries available. Sentries should cover as many choke points.
I was gonna say, yeah, the more I was thinking about it, the more it did make sense. Like, the more the spread out, the more ground they're covering, so it kind of makes sense.
Routes as possible, so that no matter what direction the opposing team tries to go, they have to deal with a sentry gun. If you group the guns together, it'll just be that much easier for them to just take an open flank route and harass a big cluster of useless guns that don't even extend their range into peeking distance.
But Uncle Dane, I put my sentry here first. He's the one who should move his gun.
Shh, get over here, son.
Here we
If the
go.
other engineer refuses to move his gun away from yours, be the bigger boy, and when it's safe, move yours to another place that guards a flank route or something. An easy way to practice good area denial is to place your gun in a spot that covers an area where the opposing team would have to stand in order to take out the other sentries. Sentries covering other sentries equals a really, really solid defense that will be that much harder for the enemy to push into. Your team will thank you for it, and the other engineers definitely will thank you for it.
Nice.
So, the world of cooperative engineering is filled with don'ts. Don't be the 3rd or 4th engineer on your team. Too much support hurts team composition, which loses games. Don't take metal from the other engineers' dispensers. It's rude. And don't be selfish. Treat all friendly buildings as if they were your own. And don't, under any circumstance, place your sentry close to another one. It's seriously the most common, yet easily avoided mistake that newer engineers make. Let's change
I was
this.
say I was definitely gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the first things I would have been like, ooh, what if there's 2 next to each other?
By doing the right thing and building somewhere
I
else.
want you to build your
Thank you guys so much
sentry.
for watching this episode of Engineering 101. I hope this video helped you in some way. And even if
It
it didn't,
did.
at least do the engineering community a favor and share this advice with as many new players as you can, because there's a baby engineer born every day. The best thing we can do is teach them.
I guess I'm gonna be that baby engineer soon, because I'm definitely gonna be playing the class
I'm
soon.
Uncle Dane the Engie Main, and I will talk to you nieces and nephews next time. Bye-bye.
Oh man. Ooh, I love this outro. Oh, okay. So that was Cooperative Engineering, another great part in the series of Engineering 101 by Uncle Dane. As usual, I'll put the original video link down below if you want to go watch it for yourself, and please do, because this was awesome. And this series has just been great so far. I completely understand why everybody was like, you got to watch Uncle Dane before you try Engineer, because I mean, he literally said a couple of things that I definitely was going to do as soon as I booted it up. So I'm really glad I'm watching this before I play. It is very, very helpful. So if you enjoyed this reaction, do not forget to hit the like button. It really, really helps out the channel here. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, you're more than welcome to comment down below, and I'll be sure to put it on the list to make. I know there's a few comments in the last video of Uncle Dane and some of the videos that he has that aren't series related. They're just like, you know, just kind of like their own video. I'll definitely be watching those too. So thank you so much to everybody that has recommended that. Man, you guys are awesome. And I really appreciate the support. So that's all I got for you. I will see you in the next video. And do not forget, man, it's Work Army for life.